You hit your 30s and something changes. You're not old, but you're not invincible anymore either. Your joints crack when you stand up, your energy dips by mid-afternoon, and somehow that temporary desk job has turned into a decade of sitting. You start to wonder, what if I actually tried calisthenics? Can bodyweight training still change my body at this age? Well, here's the truth nobody tells you: it's not just possible, it's transformative. But not in the way you think. When you first start, it's humbling. You realize how much your body has adapted to not moving. Your hips feel tight. Your back feels stiff. You go for a simple push-up and your core starts shaking like it's forgotten what stability means. This isn't weakness, it's neglect. Your muscles haven't quit. They've just been waiting for a signal to wake up again. And calisthenics, that's the wake-up call. Within the first 2 weeks, you'll feel your body fighting back. Joints loosen. Posture begins to realign. That brain-to-muscle connection, the one you didn't even know was missing, slowly comes back online. You start moving like a human again, not like an office chair with legs. But let's be honest, your 30s aren't your 20s. Back then, you could jump into a workout cold and still hit a muscle up. Now, you skip the warm-up once and your shoulder reminds you for 3 days. Recovery matters more now, not because you're weak, but because you're smarter. This decade isn't about ego lifts. It's about longevity. You train differently because your priorities change. You don't need to prove you can do 100 push-ups, you want to be able to do push-ups for the next 30 years. And that's the real flex: consistency. Here's the part no one mentions: calisthenics in your 30s doesn't just rebuild your body, it rebuilds your confidence. You start seeing progress in subtle ways. You wake up earlier because your body craves movement. You catch your reflection and notice your shoulders sitting back naturally. You start walking taller, not because you gained muscle, but because you've regained control. Every representative teaches your body a new language of discipline, balance, and power. And soon, you realize you're stronger than you've ever been, mentally. Now let's talk science for a second. After 30, your muscle recovery slows, your testosterone dips slightly, and you lose about 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade if you stay inactive. But bodyweight training flips that decline. Studies show that consistent calisthenics improves not just muscle tone, but neuromuscular efficiency. Your brain literally fires signals faster, creating smoother, more powerful movements. So even if you're not lifting iron, your body becomes more efficient at moving itself. That's why calisthenics athletes in their 30s often outperform weightlifters half their age, in balance, control, and resilience. Here's where most people fall off: they expect transformation overnight. But in your 30s, results don't scream, they whisper. You'll notice your jeans fit better, your core feels tighter, your stress levels drop. That's real progress. Calisthenics isn't a sprint, it's a return to control. Each week, your body reclaims something modern life took away: mobility, posture, stability, energy. By month 3, you don't just look stronger, you move differently. You stand like someone who owns their body again. I get it. You've got responsibilities. Maybe a career, maybe kids, maybe both. You can't spend 2 hours a day in a gym. That's why calisthenics is a 30-year-old secret weapon: it's portable, efficient, and adaptable. 10 minutes before work, 10 after dinner, that's enough to start. The trick isn't time, it's consistency. Do the work when you can. Build the habit quietly. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll go from struggling through push-ups to repping them out like it's nothing. When you start calisthenics in your 30s, you also learn something humbling: discipline beats motivation every time. Because truthfully, you won't feel like training every day. But the version of you who shows up anyway, that's who gets results. That's who wins. And that mindset doesn't just change your workouts, it changes everything. Work, relationships, life. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You realize you are the only thing you need to begin. Now, let's talk pain. Not the injury kind, the adaptation kind. Because when your muscles start waking up, they ache. You'll feel soreness in places you didn't know existed: behind your ribs, in your hip flexors, deep in your core. That's not weakness. That's progress. Your body's relearning balance, tension, alignment. And each micro adjustment brings you one step closer to mastery. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because calisthenics teaches you the ultimate lesson: you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need supplements or trends. All you need is you. By month 6, something wild happens. Your movement becomes art. Pull-ups feel smoother. Push-ups flow effortlessly. Your body feels connected, like one unified system, not separate parts. You start chasing skills, not aesthetics. Handstands, L-sits, levers. Each move becomes a meditation, strength and control, perfectly balanced. And even though you started for fitness, you stay for the feeling, that quiet, grounded confidence that comes from mastering yourself. So what really happens when you start calisthenics in your 30s? You wake up, not just physically, but mentally. You stop seeing your body as too old, and start seeing it as limitless. You realize fitness isn't about punishing yourself, it's about rediscovering yourself. And slowly, you understand that your 30s aren't your decline, they're your comeback decade. Because once you start, you'll never want to stop. So yeah, if you're thinking about starting calisthenics in your 30s, don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation, just start. Do one push-up, one squat, one representative. Because every representative is proof you're still in control. You're not behind, you're right on time. This is your story. This is your strength. This is Captain Gains. And your next chapter starts right now.